Hello, and welcome to Check on Learning, where we're going to check your learning. Where'd my face go? Just kidding. I meant to do that. So here we are, Check on Learning 2.3. We've got 7 problems coming at you, and I feel like there's some good ones. But to get us started, to get us started, we've got a t-shirt leaves the launcher at 1.5 meters off the ground. Bam, 1.5. With the initial velocity of 5 meters per second, function h equals blah, 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 gives the height of the t-shirt in meters after t seconds. And they gave us a graph. That's neat. Use the graph to answer the following question. Does a t-shirt ever reach a height of 3 meters? So if we look at our graph, looks like each block is 0.25, so the highest it ever goes would be 2.75. 3 would be this one right here. So it never hits that 3. So, and then what can this tell you about the solutions to the equation? So there's still solutions, but no, the solutions are non-real or imaginary or complex, however you want to say it. And let me check the answer. That is the correct answer, just in case you didn't believe me. So now we've got some good math going on here. So it says solve 2x plus 8x plus 30 by completing the squares. So you could theoretically use the quadratic formula, but right now that would be cheating. We want you to actually use the completing the squares method. So let's see here. What can we do? Remember, our completing the squares formula was something like, let's see if we'll just randomly pull back up. Nope, it won't. So that the completing the squares formula was something like if you add both sides of b over 2 squared, and then you can get a perfect trinomial. So we're still looking for that b over 2 squared. So step 1, we're going to take this equation and we're going to get it so that it has all of your numbers on the right and all of your x's on the left. So here we go. So we've got 2x squared plus 8x plus, equals 5 minus 30, which is obviously going to be equal to negative 25. So we also have this 2 here in front. So hopefully you can see that there's a 2 there and there's an 8, which is also an even number. So we can factor out a 2. We want to get rid of that 2 because in our equation, our key to unlock this equation, we can't have a number there. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. Well, I guess first we're going to factor it. So it's going to look something like that. Now we can divide both sides by 2. So now we have x squared plus, whoops, that's not right. That would be plus a 4x. So now we have x squared plus 4x equals negative 25 divided by 2. Now again, on the right side, yeah, that's a gross number, but we don't care about that right now. So if we look at our equation, this is going to be our b. So we're going to add to both sides b divided by 2 squared. So in this case, we're going to take 4 divided by 2 and then square it. So 4 divided by 2 is 2 squared equals 4. So we're going to add 4 to both sides. So on the left, we're going to have x squared plus 4x plus 4. But since that's a perfect square trinomial, we can say that it is x plus b over 2. In this case, b is 4. And then 4 divided by 2 is 2 squared equals 25 over 2 plus 4. I guess negative 25 over 2 plus 4. Negative 25 over 2 plus. So I'm going to change 4 so that it has the same denominator as this. So 4 is the same as 8 over 2. So if I just took 2 times 4, that's what goes on top. So now we can actually, I guess it's a subtraction. Add those together, whatever. It's negative 25 plus 8 or 8 minus 25. So we're going to get so we're going to get negative 17. I was doing that in my head. Aren't you all proud of me? Okay, so here we are. So now at this point, we can take the square root of both sides. So we're going to have x plus 2 equals the square root of negative 17 over 2. I'm just going to put another square root down there so you can tell. And again, we still need x equals. So we're going to have x equals the square root of 17 over 2. And I pulled that I out. Okay? So don't let that confuse you. Minus 2. And that's going to be a plus or minus because we took the square root. And that's basically the answer. However, so we've got basically a negative 2 plus or minus. I'll rewrite it like that. So we're going up this way. I'll switch to green. So I think it makes more sense to write it x equals negative 2 plus or minus I square root of 17 over 2. So that is the answer, but it's not simplified, right? So we got to do all that weird, crazy stuff to make it like a normal, quote-unquote, normal, acceptable answer. So step 1, so here, what do I want step 1 to be? Step 1, let's rationalize this fraction. I'm sorry, that radical. So there's that square root in the denominator. So I'm going to rationalize that so that's not an issue. And then we can set the denominators equal to each other and we can go from there. So anyway, we're going to multiply this number by a very special version of 1 called square root of 2 over square root of 2. So I don't have to do that to the whole equation because I'm just multiplying this number by 1. I'm not actually changing that number at all. So that's going to turn into, I is still on the outside, 17 times 2. That's not going to happen in my head. Go away. 17 times 2 is 34. So we're going to have 34, and then square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2. So we have plus or minus a negative 2. So I'm going to rewrite that negative 2 to have the denominator of 2. So it's going to be negative 4 over 2 equals x. Okay, so now we can combine them. So then we've got negative 4 plus or minus I square root of 34 all divided by 2. Let's see, here's 34. Can I get anything out of that? Nope, I think that's it. Let's check the answers. Yeah. So your answer is this right here. But remember, there's 2 answers here. So when you plug it in, you're going to have, so you can make a little fraction, and then on the top, you're going to have -4 plus I square root of 34. And then on the bottom, you're going to have 2. There's your first answer. Your second answer is -4 minus I square root of 34. Oh, no, I didn't make that a fraction. Oh, jeez. See if this will work. Nope. Whatever. Minus I square root 34. Down here is 2. There you go. Now you can read a little bit better. So there's your answers. So I'm leaving it on there just a little bit of extra time so you can see them. If you need to write them down, whatever. All right. Here we go. Next one. Oh, look. They did all the work for us down here. We just have to match. I hate it when they do this. Use the quadratic formula to solve the equation. 8 equals blah, 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 blah. Show your work and justify each step. Drag the equation into the box to correctly solve the equation. So they actually they labeled each step. We just need to pick the right one. So write the equation in standard form. So which one here has standard form? If you take all of these and move them over to the left, that's what I would do, so that we have positives and stuff like that. Looks like we would have 12x squared plus 12x plus 8 equals 0. So then we use the division property of equality. What? So I'm looking down here, seeing which one. I'm assuming they mean like divided by. So it looks like this is the one they were going for. Okay, that's fine. You don't actually have to do that, but it does make it easier to reduce it. So it looks like they just took a 4 out of each one of these. So they divided this side by 4, divided this side by 4, 0 divided by 4 is still 0. So we use the quadratic formula. A equals 3, B equals 3, C equals 2. We plug it in. I think this is the one where they just have it plugged in. They do some simplifying. Let's see here, which one is the right one? So -3. Trying to kind of sort of do this in my head. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. So it's not that one. Is it this one or that one? I think it's this one. So they're basically just doing math. So 3 squared is 9. 4 times 3 is 6, 12. Times 2 is 24. So you got 9 minus 24. So that's why our I came out. And then we have 15. So yeah, we'll go for that. And then, oh, no, wait. Rewrite using I. So that one goes down there. This one goes up here. So let me check it real quick. So the answer, yeah. So I would go with that. Oh, looks like we get to play. Oh, all we're doing is finding the discriminant. That's easy. So remember the discriminant is everything under the square root. So it's going to be b squared minus 4ac. And using the discriminant, we can figure out this stuff down here. So first we need to put this in standard form. So that 6 is going to go to the left. Or we could throw everything to the right, make a pot. It doesn't matter. I don't care. So yeah, I'm going to shove the 6 on the left. So we're going to have negative 2p squared plus 4p minus 2, because negative 8 plus 6 is 2, equals 0. So our b is going to be 4, so we're going to have 4 squared minus 4. A is negative 2. C is also negative 2. So then we're going to solve there. So 4 squared is 816 minus, yeah, it's still going to be negative. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So that's going to equal 0. So our discriminant equals 0. What number is this? 4? Yeah, so our discriminant equals 0. Because our discriminant equals 0, we know that there is one real solution. Remember, if the discriminant is positive, you have 2 real solutions. 0, 1 real solution. Negative, you have 2 imaginary solutions. In this case, we have 1 real solution. This is a good check on learning. Use the given equation to complete the problem. Oh, it's just another discriminant. Too easy. So again, my discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. I have to write it out all the time because, I don't know, I'm just a visual person. Putting my equation in standard form. So it's your 5 minus 2, 7. I don't know why I couldn't think of that, but whatever. Okay, so now when we plug it in, we've got negative 10 squared minus 4 times a, which is negative 8, times c, which is negative 7. Oh wait, maybe I can do this. So we've got 100 minus 7 times 8 is 56. That's going to be a positive 56. And then 56 times 4, I totally cannot do that in my head. So what is that? 12, 24. That's 20, so 22. And that's going to equal a negative number. I don't even care what number it equals. All I care is that it's negative. In case you're wondering, it's negative 124. Okay, I do care because they asked for that. Whatever. So yeah, they said find the value of the discriminant. When they say find the value of the discriminant, it matters. However, to answer this one down here, it doesn't matter. We know it's 2 imaginary solutions because it's negative. All right, here we go. What does this one say? More discriminants. Do I have to do 2 more discriminants? Anyway, here we go. So if I were to write this in standard form, we got negative 3m squared minus 4m plus 7 equals 0. My equation is b squared minus 4ac. So we got negative 4 squared minus 4 times a, negative 3, times c, which is 7. Oh, I'm so bad at 7s. 4 squared is 16 minus, let's see, that's 21. 21 times 4, I'm sorry, I have to do everything on paper. I can't do it in my head. Not as good as you. Leave me alone. So that's going to equal, oh goodness. Okay, more scratch paper stuff. 84 minus 16. I know there's a weird negative sign there. Give me a second. That's 7. So 14 minus 6, 8. 7 minus 1 is 6. So we've got 68, and it's a negative. Right? What number is this? 6? What did I do? Oh, I did something wrong. Have you caught it yet? Negative times a negative equals a positive. So that turns into plus. That's just wrong. And now it's even easier to do. So we got 0, 8, 9, and 100. 100? So the value of the discriminant is 100. Because it's positive, I know that we have 2 real solutions. All right, last but not least, they at least gave me a word problem to play with. Carl wants to hang a rope swing from a 20-foot tall branch on a tree. Ties the weight at the end of the rope, ties it to throw it over the branch. The motion of the weight can be modeled by the equation blah, where t is t in time since he threw the weight, and h is the height in the weight. Will the weight reach the height of the branch? Use the discriminant to justify your answer. Okay, so this is already in standard form. No, it's not. I'm just kidding. So in order to figure this out, we need to take our 20-foot tall tree branch and plug it into for h. So we're going to plug 20 in for h. So our new equation is going to be 20 equals negative 16t squared plus 32t plus 5. So we need to put this in standard form. So we're going to throw the 20 over to the other side. So we got 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 32t minus 15. So now we can do our discriminant. We've got b squared minus 4ac. So my b is 32 squared. Definitely getting the calculator out for this one. Times 4. A is negative 16. And c is negative 15. Okay, I have a calculator to do that for me. So let's see here. 32 squared minus, so I'm going to put all this in parentheses and just multiply it all together. 4 times negative 16 times negative 15. So I would like to note when I'm entering this into my calculator, I use these parentheses because I wanted all of this to happen first before it's subtracted. So make sure you are following order of operations with your calculator. The answer is 64. So my discriminant equals 64. Therefore, that's not the right answer. Will the weight, what is it? Will the weight reach the height of the branch? Yes. Since the discriminant is positive, that is not the discriminant I got, but whatever, the rope will reach the height. That number is totally wrong. But whatever. Yes, since the discriminant is positive, the rope will reach the height of the branch.